Most men watched this movie and said, "What the hell did I just watch?" But women, they got it instantly, which speaks volume about the struggle women go through every day in their life. But why is this movie so confusing? Is it just weird for the sake of being weird? Or is there something deeper going on? To understand man, we first need to look at the man behind it, Alex Garland. Garland isn't new to mind-bending films. In 2014, he gave us Ex Machina, a psychological sci-fi thriller about artificial intelligence and manipulations. Then in 2018, he directed Annihilation, a surreal horror film exposing self-destructions and transformation. And in 2022, he brought us Men, arguably his most divisive and abstract film yet. The movie starts with Harper driving to the countryside. It's quiet, almost peaceful, but there is this heaviness, like something is off. And then we see it. Quick flashes of her husband falling to his death. No context, no explanation, just an image burned into her mind and now into ours. She is here to escape, to heal, but we already know this trip isn't going to be that simple. Harper barely settled it when she grabs an apple from the tree outside. Seems harmless, right? But then the house owner Jeffrey casually joked, "Hey, that's a forbidden fruit." Isn't it a weird comment? But that's the first sign of what's coming. This movie is full of biblical imagery, and this is the first nudge. For the first time, Harper feels free. She steps into the rain, arms open, and she is letting everything go. No grief, no fear, just a moment that's her. It's a small scene, but it matters because this is the first time we actually see her happy. No one watching, no one judging, just Harper existing. But in Man, peace never lasts for long, and then she sees it, a tunnel. There is something about the image. It's inviting, but also unsettling. A long, dark passage leading into the unknown. But for now, Harper isn't scared. She's curious. She plays with the sound, turning her voice into a song. It's light-hearted, even childlike, and one of the only moments in the movie where she is just existing without fear. But tunnels have meaning. They represent passage, change, and even rebirth, but also traps. But then she sees him, a shadow, not moving, not speaking, just watching. After escaping, the Harper finds herself in a church, a place of safety, peace, or at least it should be. But the first thing she notices isn't comfort, it's him, the disturbing stone figure, mouth frozen in agony. The Green Man, an ancient pagan, a symbol of rebirth, masculinity, nature. But in Men, it's twisted into something more sinister. And then she meets him, a boy, wearing a strange, unsettling mask. And the first thing he does, he demands her attention. Then there is the priest, calm, composed, and seemingly kind. He sits next to Harper, speaking gently. At first, it seems he is offering comfort. She doesn't say much, but he already assumes why she's here. And instead of listening, he starts talking for her. And this is where the shift happens. He isn't here to help. He is here to place blame, to make her feel responsible for her husband's death. This moment is important. The priest represents the voice so many women have heard before, that their pain isn't just there, that somehow they deserve it. Harper walks into the bar, probably hoping for once to be around normal people. But the second she steps in, it's clear something is off. Jeffrey is here, and so are the others. The priest, the policeman, even the boy with the unsettling mask. And then it hits you. They all look the same. Every single man in this town, same face, different roles. It's kind of realization that creeps upon you, making everything feel wrong in a way you can't fully explain. At first, she doesn't seem to notice. Maybe because this isn't about her recognizing it. It's about us seeing it. This isn't a town full of different men. It's one idea, one force repeating itself over and over. And no matter where she goes, no matter who she talks to, she met with the same thing: disregard, dismissal, and danger. Man doesn't give her a way out because in the world of this movie, there isn't one. Harper is done. She had enough of this town, these men, the way they look at her. So she leaves, or at least she tries to. But then she realizes she is not alone. The men are still watching, and worse, they are following. This moment is important because it shifts the film from psychological horror to pure survival mode. Up until now, she's been uneasy and uncomfortable, but now she is being hunted. This is the fear woman knows too well. The fear of being followed, of knowing something is behind you but not daring to look back, because looking back confirm it, and once you confirm it, you have to deal with it. The men don't chase her like normal attackers. They don't scream or run wildly. They just follow slowly, like they already know how this ends. And then it happens. The naked man drops to the ground convulsing, and suddenly he gives birth. Again and again, from one body comes another. The priest, the policeman, Jaffrey, each man giving birth to the next. And after all that, all the horror, all the suffering, it ends with him, James, the man she started with, the man who swore to love her but only knew how to hurt her. Harper stares at him, and for a second there is nothing left to say. She seen him die, she see him reborn, and yet he is still here because he always will be. He doesn't scream, he doesn't attack, he just says what he wanted to say all along. You did this to me, he blames her again. Morning comes, and with it a sense of calm. The horror is over, the men are gone, but did any of it actually happen, or was it something else entirely? Harper doesn't explain, she doesn't need to, because the film was never about proving what happened, it was about what it meant. So what does it all mean? Men isn't a film that gives you easy answer. It's unsettling, frustrating, and even downright bizarre at times. But underneath the horror, it's a story about something very real, the exhausting, endless experience of being a woman in a world built for men. It's not about one bad man or one bad relationship. It's about the way these patterns repeat over and over, generation after generation. The way control, victimhood, guilt get passed down like an inheritance. But in the end, Men isn't a story about horror. It's a story about survival, about breaking the cycle and walking away. Men is not a movie that holds your hand. It doesn't explain itself. It's a messy, uncomfortable, and reuses to fit into the neat little box. And that's exactly why it works. It's not just a horror film. It's an experience, a haunting reflection of something real wrapped in a surreal horror. So guys, tell me your thoughts in the comment section. And if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.